Good evening, everybody. It's a privilege to be here. I'm here from Amrita University. We have 5 campuses, and one of them being here in Bangalore City. We were actually hosting one of the summer schools in cybersecurity this week, and that's how we were invited to be here. In fact, Christian and Arun were part of it. So this was, again, one of our initiatives to really promote skills development, awareness, knowledge, and security. Coming back to my own thoughts on what we can do, and then touching on the skills and what the universities can do. If we asked today one question, what is the cybersecurity incident preparedness of any of our institutions? Would we have an answer to that? I would say maybe there are a few people, a few pockets of people in this country that could give a reasonable answer. But most of them, most of us would say, I have really no idea. In spite of tremendous investments in security solutions in their institutions. I'm reminded of a beautiful experiment that NISA did a couple of years ago. They created 2,000 simulated attacks and let, I think, a staggering number of organizations, something like 200 organizations from 29 countries participate in it, all to just give them a feeling and understanding of what their security posture is. Now, this is something we could easily do, at least to have an idea of where we stand. We already know the types of attack, at least the common types of issues that most organizations face. Denial of service attacks, malwares, website defacements. These are very, very common, simple problems, but they are extremely rampant in the industry and institutions in India today. So we are looking at cybersecurity not as a technical issue, but really as a strategic national issue going forward. Now, one of the key things that has been touched upon by the earlier speakers is the availability of data. And definitely organizations like these can do a lot and go very much further in bringing breaches information on that to security researchers, if not the total public. Now, what would we do with this data? We could transform from being just responding to incidents to creating early warning solutions. So even before you are massively compromised, you could potentially take steps to curtail certain types of attacks. Now, that is very, very, very valuable. Don't you agree? We spend billions of millions of dollars or millions of rupees. Now, if we had this information, all of us could really benefit from it and protect ourselves very easily. We don't really have to totally be dependent on buying new solutions, but at least use the data we have to understand where we can make the improvements. Now, coming back to your question, Sanjay, on what can academia do, that is where I hail from. So definitely in India, we do spend tremendous amount of effort and time in educating individuals, and we're very happy about it. But one thing that I do see is, are we creating problem solvers? Are we training students to be problem solvers? We may be creating students that are good technical programmers, that are good with potentially presenting themselves, but really, can they really look at anything and then say that this is the way I think we should solve the problem? Probably it is not really something that we should be really pointing fingers at anybody for, but it's just a thought change that we really need to bring, especially the area of cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is not anymore just computer science. We are seeing overlap of various different fields. Take anthropology, take social sciences. We are seeing several elements from all of these converging into solving of cybersecurity problems. And that is how we need to train and change people. In fact, at Amrita, we've come up with one of the I would say, unique platforms to be able to train these students. Obviously, it's important to give students various different scenarios, but giving them a real hands-on experience only comes when you're able to balance out theory with practice. So, for example, learning, fail-safe defaults or principle of least privileges, along with how to monitor traffic, how to do secure programming, all of these should be integrated into a curriculum to be able to really come out with good, solid cybersecurity engineers. My one last thing is, I really, one of my personal wishes is to see more women in security. I don't see very many women. In fact, I have classes that have many women there, in fact, more percentages of women. But unfortunately, I don't see them go up the ladder very often. So I hope this community would also do something about that. Thank you.